Hello all you goobers and geezers, my name is Goobster, and we are back for another video about designing POKÉMON. And today is a special episode because it is the second episode of Project Sansemar, a project I started with my wonderful friend Z, but you will all know him as Lava Tyrant. Now, I know in the last video we had you all vote for the starters, and we're going to talk about that at the end. For now, we're doing a bit of an inverse of the original video that inspired this series, in that me and Lava Tyrant each turned a superhero into a Pokemon, a video we will revamp in our modern styles for this series, but the way this works will all be explained. In the original video, I took a Marvel character and Z took a character from My Hero Academia. And the inverse of today is that we both chose a character from those same franchises/series, but not for ourselves. We chose them for each other. Lava gave me the character Gang ORCA from My Hero Academia, and so that will be transformed into a two-stage line here. But there will be a link in the description to the counterpart video made by Lava, where he takes the character from Marvel Comics that I gave him and turned them into a Pokemon. Anyway, before we start, let's go over the origins of the Sansemar region to set the scene. A secretive company originating from the Alola region has expanded, training new employees to go on more dangerous missions. For this, they found an uninhabited region and built a fake community upon it. This region has no real-world origin. The closest thing to it would be Los Alamos, due to their similar origins and circumstances. This community is a huge training ground with a system similar to the league system of other regions, but there are no crowned champions. The Aether Foundation wanted to expand their research by training agents to venture into Ultra Space to capture and collect data of Ultra Beasts. These operatives became known as the Aether Foundation Acro Division. If you want to hear what happens next, you'll have to check the next part, which will, if you're here for the premiere, will be released on Lava's channel after this one, where he will explain the next half. And if you're not here for the premiere, it's available now. For these videos, being Lava will be experimenting with a presentation/audio log style recording, which we think will benefit this series. In this, me and him will act as two high-ranking Acro Division employees. Welcome, trainees of the Aether Foundation Acro Division, to your first meeting. As some of our newest recruits, your access to information will be limited at first. These trials and obstacles along the way will aid in awakening the strength within you. The stronger you are, the more vital the information we present will be. Be sure to attend every meeting in order to learn the most you can about the inhabitants of this region, if you hope to get promoted enough to become an explorer of Ultra Space and help us expand our knowledge of these creatures. In our first presentation, we would like to disclose that we will split them in half to discuss the many Pokemon we have imported here from various regions across the world. In this first half, we will teach you about a Pokemon that is a sure ally even if you come across them in the wild, but do not lower your guard. In the second half, which will begin after a short break, we will discuss a dangerous and vastly more powerful threat in this region that will not hesitate to ward you off. While we discuss, we will be showing footage of our greatest artists sketching images of said Pokemon. Assuming you all went to the introductory lecture or even have the slightest knowledge of Pokemon, you should know the classification system that we use. And if you don't, I would love it if you told me what rock you've been hiding under all these years. Kick, the comrade Pokemon, normal dark type. Kick go around finding packs of other Kick and will grow a close bond. They have been documented having a profound loyalty to the pack. It appears that they do not have a preference for numbers, as they have been shown forming packs as large as over 10 members to as small as groups of 4. These Pokemon seem to have a fondness for protecting the weak, and are surprisingly strategic and useful for their small sizes. They and their evolutions were imported from a region close to Kanto called... You know what, I don't think you guys have the right classifications and permissions to hear about that.
Is that it, or did you just forget where the hell it came from?
Can it, Bertha, or I'll have you off the island before you can say I gotta catch 'em all.
But my name's not...
You gonna continue, or can we move on with the evolution? That is what I thought. These Pokemon are quite special, and can even evolve at level 22 into Kamata, the Killer Whale Pokemon, the normal and dark type. Kamata are very powerful and very serious, often putting on a very effective, intimidating display and attitude. Those who get to know them best see that this is a tactic to deter opponents from attacking it, and that the species are actually very calm and focused. While their powers are strong on land, they are especially potent when swimming in the water. Kamata will go around adopting packs of Setakik and training them in the ways that they themselves learned. That concludes this half of the meeting. We will let you all go for a short break, but we expect you all back in the next half of the lecture. I will not be returning, and instead you will be getting Zane as your lecturer. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that in-character lore accurate assembly, especially since that is how all Sansemar videos will be formatted from now on, and they will be even crazier when you all get promoted to Ultra Explorer. For now, let's talk about the origins of Setakik and Kamata. For the collab that inspired this series, I turned Marvel's Spider-Man into a Pokemon, and Lava turned My Hero Academia's Mina Ashido into a Pokemon. And while those two videos will be redone with modern editing and redesigns, this video is that, but flipped. I chose a Marvel character for Lava, and he chose an MHA character for me, which was Gang ORCA, who is a character that we both adore. Him, clearly more than me. The typing comes from the intimidation factor that Gang ORCA has. It's one of his main gimmicks, and it makes more sense if you've seen his civilian getup compared to his hero costume. It was made specifically to enhance his scary appearance. The normal type comes from his paralyzing hypersonic blast, which is a part of his quirk. The first stage is inspired by his sidekicks, and that's where the name Setakik comes from. Cetacean and Sidekick. I'm pretty sure that they only appear in the Provisional Hero License exam arc when Gang ORCA and his sidekicks are pretending to be villains to test the students in the stadium thing. Either way, their designs are pretty cool, so I had to incorporate them. Speaking of that arc, the shiny is inspired by the suit Gang ORCA wore during that arc that was made to restrict his powers, so that he didn't severely damage the students he was training. I gave them headphone-like shapes at the side of their heads, since those are used to listen to things like songs and videos. Kamata comes from Sonar, ORCA, and Kugo Sakamata, which is Gang ORCA's name. Sonar uses sound, and it's aquatic, just like Gang ORCA. And that's referenced through his teeth, which are black with the dividing line being green. This also references sound waves and how they are represented. I made his tie and the wrists of his clothes out of kelp/seaweed, and it turned out quite well. I have shown this to Esper to make the thumbnail, and Lava since he is a part of the collab, and they both asked, why the hell is it so square? If you look at the circular markings on the square head, you can easily see a speaker, and due to the square head, I made his torso also square, just to continue with that and make it more cohesive. As for the cape-like skin flaps on his back, I modelled them after an aquatic tail, and I didn't really know what to do with those things in front. I don't even know what they are, or what they're even supposed to be. So I gave them claws and made them look like arms or something. Almost like he's wearing a pelt. The categories and level are a reference to Gang ORCA as a character. Of course, the level 22 being a combination of the two numbers he was assigned in the top heroes, since he has had two over the series, one before and one after All Might retired. And the category for the final evolution is a reference to the category that he is given in the series. I want to thank you all for watching this video. Now, I said that we'd talk about the starters, so let's do. They won't be out for a while. They're either going to be made late this year or next year entirely. For that, you can still vote, but we're changing it up a bit. The themes for the starters are to go with the theme of the region, and that is pop culture references. The starters will be based on a book, a game, and a movie/TV series. However, we didn't have that many entries, so we're changing it up. If you voted before, we encourage you to vote again, and you can vote any character in pop culture media. We would like to ask you all to come up with a starter for each type and theme. In short, making 3 grass starters, 1 for each theme, and doing the same with the other types so we have more to go off of. I know that seems like a lot, but we are relatively small YouTubers, one more than the other, and we need the help, all the help that we can get to keep the series going, because we are enjoying making it so far. You can vote here, but we also have a community post that there will be a link to in the description if you would like to vote there instead. There will also be a link to the Sansemar playlist where you can see what we have to offer. We have Pokemon based on Five Nights at Freddy's, but also Ultra Beast box legendaries based on ourselves, which hints at the post-game story. These box arts are based on me and Lava's avatars. Lava's avatar, Z Cypress, comes from his series Project IXC, which you can check out on his channel. I have never made a video dedicated to my series, A Journey into the Endless Void, but if you all want to see it, I could make a YouTube series similar to Lava's about just that. Even if not, this won't be the last you hear about Endless Void. With that all out of the way, I've been Gibster, and I'll see you all in another life.